Harry, this one, um, good my manners. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Richard's Rant. As you know, the morning is the best part of the day, and that is a sentiment that I wish as you go on your way. That energy, that vibe, that cocoon of positivity. Today would really be a ranty rant, so to speak. They're a little emotional. Tried to settle myself over the course of some hours, but I only read two stories and then I rest down the papers. So I don't even know if this might also be, a short rant or if it is, I just have a real thing to say. But I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna take the positive from it first. It's a negative story, but I'm gonna take the positive. The positive story, the positive part of it is that helped. People helped, and growth happened because the protagonist in the story did not want to ask for assistance. So, that's the two things. All right? That's the two things. I don't know if it was a point of interest or if it was to gloat or if it was validation or, you know, to say that the newspaper was influential or if it was just reporting the news. I don't know the motive for it. Equally, I don't know how it is the people in the story found themselves in this situation. But what I do know and what bothered me is because that's where my mind went. How do you find yourself in this situation? And then I realized this is just typical, generic of a capitalist society. This is normal. This is the realm of normal. We have a single mother. She has some sort of ailments or something because she has prescriptions. It wasn't really spoken about too much in it, so I guess it's not a big deal. The ailments. Maybe it's not life threatening or something, but she has her prescriptions. That could mean anything. I have my prescriptions, you have your prescriptions, everybody have a prescription for something, right? So she is choosing between filling her prescriptions and paying the internet bill. Let that sink in. She is compromising her health, her well being, and even the amount of time that she has on this earth long term and what will become of her daughter for internet and food, but in that order. So what that tells me is that she have a budget. So what she would be doing is actually allocating, okay, I wouldn't fill the prescription this month, I'll buy food because the food budget, it means she leaving that intact. When it is you don't have enough, you just start to look at wages you could cut out. So it means she cutting out medical before she cut out food, which makes complete sense. Which means that she's not a person that don't have some kind of financial literacy. Maybe she's not expert, but maybe she's not illiterate in it either. If this is the level of thinking, right? And the reason why it is she not buying medicine but paying the internet is not because of the shit that Rowdy said some time ago about the SOE and stay home and chill and watch Netflix. It's because her daughter, her one child, is doing SEA. You ever get so angry that you just kind of, it's like your body confused. You don't know if you want to cry, if you want to shout. A little tear come out your eye, your voice quick, but then you get vexed and you know your heart racing. When it is She, mm-mm-mm. We gotta do better, you know. Human to human. We have to fucking do better. When she buy the internet or pay the bill or the subscription or the data, when she attain the internet, some days it just don't work. And all are we familiar with that? How much of us numb to it now? I am. But how much of us that numb to it had to choose between medical health and the internet? Only for it not to be working properly. We don't know what the ailment is. But for it to be mentioned, I don't think is a prescription for vitamin E tablet to make sure she have nice skin, hair, and nails to get another baby daddy or something. I really don't think that is the case. If it is, if it is, if it is this woman have, let me just say asthma. You wouldn't necessarily need a prescription unless it's chronic asthma, right? So let me say it's asthma or chronic asthma. With this Sahara dust, and yes, we're dealing with COVID and how you can't breathe and your chest. But when you have asthma, you numb to it. That's what you're accustomed to. From time to time, you just can't breathe. It just feel different. Sometimes it just feel like your chest full. Sometimes it just feel like you have no chest. Sometimes it just feel like something's sitting on your chest. Sometimes it just feel like if it, God knows what, it's solid. It full of cold. It just have different kind of attacks. Sometimes it just feel like it don't have enough air in the world. But we don't know what type, or even if it's asthma. I just using a simple one. Because something like that means that she can't function properly as a person. She can't move about. She can't say she going and plan something to eat properly or do too much chores and all of that. If it's migraines, if it's high blood pressure, if it's diabetes, and if the only reason why it is she reach out, because she have her pride, as we all would. She's a grown woman. She bring life into this world. It have no talk about the father, family, or help. So heaven knows what her familial or social situation would be. Why things are exactly the way they are. What other tragic story might be in the background there. And the reason that she reached out is because she had no passage to give the daughter to go to do SCE. Just let that sink in. Just let that sink in. The daughter's birthday was some weeks ago. It had no money to buy no cake. Had no money to buy no cake. The birthday meal was rice, red beans, and stewed chicken. Let that sink in. Sometimes it's not what people say, it's what they don't. If that is the birthday meal, what they eating? What they eating when the day come normally? Is it dry rice? Is it no peas? Because I highly doubt that if that was the birthday meal and they was just eating without meat, then she would have said the birthday meal was chicken. It's written the birthday meal, and you telling me stay inside. You telling me you care and you cry. Well, look, I cry now. Your whole salary was unencumbered. One of the statements you made last year was that how COVID affecting you because your savings has gone down by 43%. You, Imbert, and they are saying driving luxury vehicles or their lifestyle unencumbered. But there's what you're doing. There's what you're doing. And people that don't have, except for the minister, Munilal, he reached out and he assisted. But the bulk of the help came from people like me that living paycheck to paycheck, that dealing with all the social issues and all the social anxieties and the rising prices, but the money remaining the same. But you just had to be grateful that at least you have an income. That is where the help came from. St. Lucia have tourism going on for more than a year. They are okay. India had the outbreak. They are okay. Australia have a lockdown for 3 days. Their economy already recovered from the last one. They make some mistakes. They lock down to correct themselves for 3 days in some cities. What kind of leader are you? What kind of thing going on in your heart to really be doing this to people? Don't tell me you're fucking scared. Don't tell me that. Because you say you get COVID twice and you have comorbidities and your ass in dead. Twice. And that didn't tell you to change the rhetoric. That didn't tell you to stop focusing on who died, but how much the overwhelming majority that lived. That didn't tell you to inspire hope. That didn't tell you to empower people instead of making them impotent. How much people it have. And when Kamala tried to tell you, you're talking shit, but she inciting violence. How much people it have like this mother and daughter suffering in silence? How much people? When it is the home store kids say that ridiculous shit about they only letting employees that get the stinking vaccine come back to work. We know if this woman is one of them people that don't want to take the vaccine or can't take the vaccine because she on prescribed drugs. Where the Ministry of Labor? Where all the fucking trade unions? It didn't even have a fucking Labor Day march this year, so they're supposed to still be friggin' spritey and all thing with the old derelict geriatric ass with them. But there's a capitalist society. For the efforts of the rich and powerful to have value and meaning, it had to have poor and suffering. So regardless of if it is she made bad choices in love or the child father just don't like them and want them to suffer. It have others. It have many. It have many. What we doing? What you doing? What could we do? None of us had the time to organize a petition to put no confidence and no confidence to elect who? To do what? We had to help each other. Just like the people come together and help each other, don't be too ashamed to ask for help. Whether you ask for help or you don't ask for help, you still need the fucking help. So whether people know or they don't know, you're still in shit. So if it is you care anything about yourself, do something to get out of shit. Don't let pride stop you. And because pride is a big thing, and it have no trust. If you see something and you could do something quietly, do something. I sure this woman have a mailbox, and I'm pretty sure she not living on an acre of land. I sure the neighbor and thing know fully well that something not right in that house. You pass in the night, you put a little money in an envelope and you keep it moving. If you could do something, do something. You could afford 3 more pound of chicken or an extra pack, just drop it. Don't even let them see who. Pass in the night after curfew. It's the neighbor. Police never have vehicle anyway. Just drop it. Properly, because if you're saying in the night and whatnot, and I'm saying meat, some cat or something might eat it. So you had to package it and thing good and proper, and place in maybe a plastic bowl, something, a cooler, something. Just do what you could do. It's serious. It's serious. It's fucking serious. Do what you could do. Just do what you could do. It's not up to them. It's up to we. And don't waste your fucking time voting. Just do vote. Not because you have the right means that you should use it. You ever hear about don't waste food? Just because it have food in the fridge, you had to eat it? Don't vote. It have a clause in our constitution that states that if it is a certain amount of people don't vote, you cannot declare a new government. They fucking up we, fuck up them. It will cause chaos. Where you calling this? It's just a little more organized, but what it is, organized chaos. It's time to fuck things up. It reaching that stage. The next story. The next story. The next story. A baby died. A baby died. A baby died. And nothing will come out of it because they don't have any evidence to prove neglect. And everybody was following procedure and protocol. But a baby died. The woman was pregnant with twins. When it is you having a baby, now apparently like it have a rapid COVID test that they just do. And like everybody that do it, positive. From my research. So the woman was having some issues. She went for medical assistance. And to qualify, you need to do the COVID shit, right? So she was COVID positive. So they sent her Augustus Long. While she was in Augustus Long, she getting contraction. It have a fucking neonatal COVID ward in the hospital that she was in. But they sent she Augustus Long. You know what Augustus Long have? A midwife on call. She's yet to see the midwife. And meanwhile, according to the Helsing, you have no visitors. And legally, you're not supposed to have your phone in the hospital. So if it is you get a curse instead of a nurse, you cut off from the outside. She tell the nurses what going on. Where's the scene? The nurses in their wisdom diagnose her as having a fucking panic attack. It's not contractions, Gil. You're just, overwhelmed. Settle yourself. She was able to get on to her family. Her family was able to call her gynecologist, her private gynecologist, who are almost fucking sure have a fucking contract in the main hospital too. And then that gynecologist was able to call somebody else or the other, because that's how things go. It's a lime. It's a baby's zest. It best. And from the lime, they sent she back Mount Hope. In this same rant, we would have explored the fact that when it is you pick up somebody with COVID-19, the people that have to do it, they were asking for more money because they have a little thing for $200 and it sometimes take them 6 hours to get permission as to where to drop off the person. So this woman was in labor for 15 fucking hours with premature twins, with no medical assistance other than what the EMTs could provide. And no disrespect to the EMTs, but if it is they were the people to have children, then they will be listed. They ain't no midwife, they ain't no doula, they ain't no fucking doctor, they ain't no gyno. So what they could do is keep your shit together until it is you get to where you're going. That is their work. What is we supposed to say? Well, it's two children, you make at least one survive. It's twins. And because genetically how twins are made, the surviving twin psychologically would have something to come over, to get over. It matters not that they never knew the person, actually, they never meet or anything. A part of them would always feel like they're missing something psychologically. That's just a fact. That need to have that hole filled could lead to heaven knows what. So you pre-fuck this child life. You already give them obstacles to overcome. We didn't even get to the family or the father. How the mother? How long it gonna take the mother to get over that? It's a twin. So every time I see you, I know it had two. How long? Every birthday, every SEA, every Christmas, every Mother's Day. How long? The Alsing didn't do this. When it's time to march for your money, everybody does get a jersey. No nurse protests the rules of the organization. None. No nurse come out and talk about these things. None. The article goes on to say that the woman cries could have been heard throughout the hospital. Of course, I'm sure that's an exaggeration, so that we just said throughout the ward. I don't even know how she come to be cradling the corpse of the dead child. I don't know if it is the baby's born while she was going. I didn't understand that part of the story because that's just not how it does go. Even if you have a stillbirth, I'm not aware of them really just giving you the child to walk up and down the hospital and cry. They might let you see the child, they might let you hold the child, but then they just take the child and they just dispose of the child. It's not registered or anything, so technically it's not even a person legally. It's not like they just give you the body for a funeral, unless you request it or something like that. It just be disposed of by the hospital, meaning burnt. The only thing that could add value to that child life is if it is to use the child corpse to make a RNA vaccine. And this is what you're doing. Doctors, what the fuck are you doing? Human to human, what we doing? I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not likable. It's just not. Please, in your day to day, just do the best that you could do. Subscribe to the vibe. Comment towards our betterment. Vibes.